Speaking of games running properly, actually the next topic is on game delays, and I think this is very appropriate for the current phase that we're in with the COVID situation, especially, you know. I know we've been hearing a lot of games being delayed, even Halo. I know not everyone is a fan of Halo. I'm not really surprised, because I expect almost every game to get delayed, honestly speaking. So yeah, how do you guys normally feel about it when you hear that a game that you've been waiting for has been delayed?
Sad, but I'm fine with it. Yeah, like especially now during the COVID period, right? Everyone knows it's hard to get these kind of things done, especially like, you know, game developers, they usually like work in their office and stuff. Now they have to work from home. It's really much harder to coordinate. Yeah. And of course, I think it's kind of a known fact that if you're working from home, your productivity is going to drop. Yeah. So game delays, wouldn't really mind it, but the most important thing is that when the game is released, right, it has to be satisfactory. Like currently there's one game I'm waiting for, Little Nightmares 2. It was meant to be out end of this year by right. It was delayed to next year.
Q1.
So yeah, I've been waiting for the game for so long, man. But I think it's fine because I really want to play the game as a proper game. I don't want to, you know, play and after you get glitch halfway and stuff, and then it ruined the experience.
I
So
think
it's fine.
it's understandable if they delay a game due to, like, you know, technical issues or you know, finalizing some stuff of the game, because honestly, like what FP say, we would want to play the game as a whole, and you would want to play it, like, not say perfectly, but at least enjoyable for the first run ever. So I wouldn't want my first run to be like, oh my god, there's a bug here, oh my god, you know, we have some issues here and there, and then like your first gameplay will be like, this game is not that good yet. I wouldn't want to touch it until like they really finalize everything. So I think, you know, delay is not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's acceptable and it's okay.
For me, right, I think, right, if we are talking about 5 years ago, if games get delayed, everyone will be like, oh my god, why is the game being delayed for no reason at all? Oh my god, what? But now, after going through these 5 years where you see terrible games being made, and like they could have just have like more time to handle this, but they didn't. I rather they delay it, regardless of whatever condition it is. You have to delay to make the game better. You have to delay because of COVID. Go ahead, delay it. Delay as much as you can. Sorry. So long as you promise that once the game gets released, you can play it as a game and not like something broken. I still wait for hot fixes and whatnot, you know, or day one patches. Yeah.
like you know, because right now, okay, because we all know so-called this COVID situation is really, really bad. Not even so-called with the software of the games. Even you see now they also actually cannot give exact date for PS5. Only recently Xbox come out of the release date lah. Okay. But I think for game delay, I'd rather the game delay than I heard nothing of it.
I see what you mean.
You know, when the so-called there's a lot of games, you know, the last few years they show it at the Gamescom or whatsoever. Then after that, next few years you see, so where's the game? You heard nothing about it.
Like you want some news on what is the current progress, right? I think that's the thing.
With COVID, without COVID, where's the game? So where's Skull and Bones?
Speaking of that, I think it has actually been. I think it's gonna be another game now. I don't even think it's gonna be called Skull and Bones anymore.
I think they got
Just a
they got
gut feeling.
mentioned about it
Mhm.
about Skull and Bones, if I'm not wrong, or I think whether they will announce something next few days.
Ooh.
Mm.
But they have
So
been in the
got-
development limbo for very long, to be very honest. Until Sea of Thieves came out and last for 1 year plus already.
That Skull and Bones is exclusively from Singapore studio, by the way.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like I
Actually, I don't know what happened.
I feel about like game delays are honestly fine lah. I mean I personally like what you guys also said. Like I rather the game be more complete rather than it be rushed out and then they have
Or
day one
give you patches every
or-
week.
Yeah, like there was this one game actually. I can't remember what it was. There was this one game that launched. It was I can't remember what it was, but it was a AAA game. But they released it, and then after I completed the game, then they're like, "Oh, we just released a patch." This was like maybe like 3 months later, and then they changed a lot of things, and then I'm just like, I'm not gonna go back to play the game again. You know what I mean? Like, why would I play just because, like, yeah? So it brings the point on like, you know, why do that when you can just like wait a bit more, you know? But I guess it is also the publishers pressure as well for them to meet the deadline of whenever they are supposed to release the game and stuff.
Release a
right?
product, I think that there's a lot of factor. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
development need to come in. You know, then I think there's a lot of pressure from everywhere in the company as well, lah. So yeah, well, I'd rather play something like complete item products rather than
the
you
full
know,
package.
you try to cheat people money for early pre-order, then after that the game come out like stupid.
Like the
Anthem.
Destiny 2
Like-
wasn't very
like
well fed,
were you guys aware of Activision? This was like maybe after Modern Warfare 2 for Call of Duty. Like they actually had a plan to release one Call of Duty game every year. So different devs lah. Like so they had they at that point in time they had Infinity Ward and they had Treyarch as well. So they will take alternate years to release a new game. I mean, it's just like one example of like you know, that is their schedule to release the game regardless of whether or not it's completed. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It just feels a bit robotic in a way because you know what happens if actually the game is not ready to be launched? They're still gonna go ahead and launch it regardless because
Assassin's Creed.
you know.
Assassin's Creed
Assassin's
also
Creed, yes.
annual release, by the way, last time. They used
Oh,
it
annual
every-
release as
every,
well,
every year.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed was
Every
annual
year.
release until I
Jesus.
think Unity, is it?
No, I think it's after.
Unity is the failure.
Unity.
Yeah, Unity was the
Unity is
Unity was
failure.
the bad one, but I don't know after which one they started
think
to
it's
take.
Rogue.
It's Rogue, right? After Rogue, then
If it's
no
not, if it's
lah.
not Rogue, it's in Syndicate.
It's Syndicate, yes.
I think it was
After
Syndicate. Yeah.
Yes. It was Unity and Syndicate, right? After Syndicate, they decided to slow down they took 1 year break. Then after that, what they come up with? Origins. And
Origins,
Origins were
yeah.
good. When it comes to Odyssey, Odyssey is way better. Oh my god, look at the improvement they get after taking that 1 year indifference break, even though they still come out with games yearly after that. But
Because we always see, you know, recycle asset
Yeah.
from game to game,
That's true.
even from Assassin's Creed to Watch Dogs also.
Wait, Assassin's Creed to Watch Dogs, they have
Watch Dogs.
recycle assets.
The NPC around the town is almost the same one.
The same faces.
running around Park Tor is about the same one.
Oh yeah.
yes.
That's
Some
true.
of
Don't
the
get me wrong.
mechanics are pretty
That's
much
true.
shared.
But of course, the so-called the world is so-called linked. It's not linked in a way, but yeah, that's so-called that is.
Oh,
But
okay,
Assassin's
okay.
Creed every year release, you know, you see from don't mention about don't mention about AC2, AC1, but so-called from AC3, before that Brotherhood, blah blah blah. Every year release, you see every year is the same game.
Yeah.
The story,
I agree.
the story are different. You know, the mechanic, but it's all the
mm.
same. The world is a lot more different, but you go into the game, it's like, oh, it's all the same. It's just an open world Assassin's Creed game.
That's actually very true. Now that you mention it. Yeah.
And also some games are they have to release like a few years. Like the one I know is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The one I know is Spider-Man. They have to release a game like 5 years. 5 years or so. Like it is in the contract. Or they have to release a movie or whatsoever.
But
Because there is a contract between Sony and Marvel.
But 5 years feels like a pretty solid amount of time. Right? Think about it.
But I think last time also Spider-Man game is almost a few years project. You see Spider-Man 1, 2, 3, then after that there's a movie 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah. Like there's actually another subtopic about game delays. Does it affect your decision to purchase the game? I don't think you guys it affects, right? Since I mean, after hearing all of your answers, it feels like you guys would just rather wait, and it doesn't really make a difference to you guys.
After Anthem, I made my point really clear that I don't pre-order a game until I go and watch and read all of the review.
What about
question? So this question is based on or buying the game later on when it's released or pre-ordering it?
Pre-order.
what?
More like pre-order.
What about Cyberpunk? Do you not pre-order Cyberpunk?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm still thinking where to pre-order, as in where to buy.
Oh, whether you want to buy on PS4
right now.
or PC, right?
Or PS5?
No, because for PS4, PS5, the game they let you play on PS5 if you buy on PS4.
Oh, I
So
see. Okay.
because the game delay ma. It was actually by right this month release. Then after that, they delayed to November. So November actually close to PS5 release. But of course they say if you already pre-order, you can get the PS5 version.
Like both versions lah. Like because you bought. Okay.
Just for me, I actually not sure where to get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like yeah.
For
You're
me, I
up.
only pre-ordered 2 games until now. But
In your whole life? No
yes.
lah. Huh? Really?
Yes,
Oh,
because
that's interesting.
I'm somebody who like Zix, I do not believe in pre-ordering a product until I've seen the quality. But so there's just these 2 exceptions. The first pre-order, it will be Tree of Saviors. That I actually regretted because
Okay.
when it's released, it's terrible. Okay, the game is it was a paid MMO back then, but like when everyone get into the game, everyone is like, no, this is trash. How dare you market it as the what do you call it? The successor to Ragnarok. How dare you? How dare you? They openly claim that it's meant to be a successor to Ragnarok, and everyone was so disappointed. Yeah, that's a regret. But the other one is Monster Hunter World, because I know Monster Hunter has a reputation of not failing the player base, except for Monster Hunter Tri, but that's on Wii, so nobody cares. Okay? Yeah.
Oh, shot fire.
Okay.
No, like serious. I mean, back then even when we released, it wasn't that popular. I mean, they're probably one of the first few who actually released motion capture, if I'm right. But nobody cares about it for some reason. But yeah, Monster Hunter Tri, nobody cares. Is usually shoved aside by most of the Monster Hunter community. So for us, if we just look at the other games, it's always it always worked out for all of us. So which is why I have the confidence to place down the order to pre-order Monster Hunter World. But other than that, unless the title really have this kind of reputation, it feels very, very risky to actually do a pre-order in my case. But still, the decision to purchase the game or not at the end, it still relies on the initial release, how people actually reviewed the game, which actually give me the confidence to buy the product. Yeah.
Do you
I
guys?
have,
Yeah. Sorry.
I
You
have
got it.
never ever pre-ordered any game, as I think Skylar will know, because I am not the type of person that will jump right into the game, even if it's a single player, like way before like anyone else. I would always wait like at least for like 2-3 weeks and see how the game goes, how the review goes, and if it's good and if it's fun, then only I'll get the game. So I don't think I've ever pre-ordered any game in my life before.
Do you know what's the funny thing, guys? Ever since I owned a Xbox 360, right? This was when I was like maybe 16, 15, 16 okay. Every single game I would pre-order. not because I was like crazy hype and I was like, oh my god, this game is coming, oh my god. It's more because I was afraid that you would get sold out. Because it's a hot game. And that was the point in time where like I can't get the game online, right? So you have to buy the hard copy, right? So literally every Xbox game that I owned, I would pre-order. Yeah.
Because it's this, right?
Yeah,
it's hard
this, yeah,
copy.
correct. And that was the only reason I pre-ordered, because I was afraid it would be sold out. Not because I was like super hyped. So when I hear you guys saying I never pre-order, then I'm just like, holy shit. I think I pre-ordered like 30 games in my lifetime, maybe.
What? That's a lot, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
lah.
like every Call of
Okay
Duty,
lah.
every single
Same.
I pre-order.
Same when
know,
PS3 also same.
It was like a habit for me.
But the
at
good
that
thing
point
is,
in time.
the good thing is I always trade my game out after I think, okay, I think I had a fair bit of this game. After I go and trade out a few games after I get a new game. So when the new games come out. I think the very recent pre-order game I had that I sort of pre-order a way long ago is Death Stranding.
Oh, okay.
The rest of the game are maybe just a day before. Sometimes you need to get the discount. Sometimes there's a pre-order discount.
Oh,
on
I see.
PS4.
Oh, I see.
Like there's 10%, 20% or whatsoever. Then,
20%, even
some,
20% also.
Usually Ubisoft game is 20%. If I'm not
Oh,
wrong.
wow. I
on
didn't know
PS4
that.
Pre-order. Then I think Death Stranding is the only recent one that actually I pre-ordered long ago before it released.
I only pre-ordered a few games in my lifetime also. The first game I pre-ordered was actually Borderlands 2. My friend was like, hey, Borderlands quite fun, but I never played Borderlands before. Then pre-ordered Borderlands 2, and honestly, that was the first one I was like, actually pre-ordering not that bad, what? The game was quite good later, turns out. Then try to pre-order games like Destiny 2, then Destiny 2 was the most disappointing thing
Dude,
ever
I
to
remember
pre-order
that.
it.
Then the next year it was free, right?
No. Pre-ordered.
Was that the one?
Pre-ordered 2. No, I'm talking about Destiny 2. Destiny 2 pre-ordered was like, okay, I was so anxious to play. Played it. Wow, that's it. Okay, and somehow I bought what's that? The first year pack also. The first year pack was quite disappointing. Never mind. After 2 years down the road, it's free. Oh my god,
but
yeah.
Destiny 2, when it released, really it's just a very short game.
Yeah, it's so
And
bad.
it disappointed so many people who, spend a lot of time to play Destiny 1 before Destiny 2 come out.
and then the game became free anyway.
The cycle it does same is the so-called is the same as Destiny 1 also. Yeah.
Like
You know,
D1 also was free, right? After a while, if I'm
Mm.
not wrong.
After so-called they released their plan DLC.
Right.
Then after that they so-called when there is new content or so-called expansion content, it came out. Then after it become free.
Then after that, I pre-ordered Borderlands 3. I must say, this pre-order particularly also disappointed me quite a fair bit. Not
But
gonna
why?
lie. No,
I
but
thought
okay,
Borderlands
this-
was pretty good.
Borderlands
Mm.
3 story was relatively disappointing. It's not bad, it's just disappointing. But okay, then I recently pre-ordered Horizon Zero Dawn. I think that's most story on. That's a safety net, right? You already know this game is already out there.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no way this can go wrong anyway.
But the port wasn't so good, right? I heard. The
Hot-
port.
No, actually quite
Mm.
okay. Feels okay, leh.
But I heard there was a lot of Actually, I heard it from you maybe about the frame rate thingy, right, or something. Oh, we were talking about why it can't be 144 hertz, right? Or something. Then it was capped to like 90, right, or something, or like 60. Yeah. Cause like I noticed that when I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey as well on PC, like it locks at 90 frames max. So I was like wondering why it doesn't go to like 144. And then the idea of it, what I think it is because it's an old game and it's a port, right? So like normally if it's a port, they are not meant to go past a certain amount of frame rate, right? So I mean that's what I think it is lah.
I think some of the game when they develop, some of the game actually did it for like platform. Like so they are focusing on a platform. Then after that, because if you port to PC, it should be quite easy, ma.
Yeah.
But when they develop on the platform itself, it will actually take a lot of time for them. That's what I think. I mean, I'm not the developer. I cannot say anything in depth. But that's what I feel. Yeah.
Like, cause like I mean, like as of now, consoles are still hitting 60 FPS, right? At most, right? If I'm not wrong. So
On different games, yeah. But you
Maximum
want
60,
to
right.
you want to consistent 60, you have to get like PS4 Pro or Xbox.
right.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I remember the days when consoles used to be like 30 FPS. And I couldn't tell the difference between 30 and 60 at that point in time until you like hop over to PC. Then you're like, whoa, you mean consoles have been 30 FPS the whole time? Bamboozled, man. So it's like it's like your eyes are so used to it, right? I mean it's still smooth because it's a constant 30, right? But then I guess when you go higher and higher, you tend to see it as like yeah. Actually, we do have another subcategory, but you guys pretty much also answered it about would you prefer a game releasing early plus frequent patches or a game releasing later but it's more of a complete product? This seems like a question like early access versus fully launched games. Now that I think about it.
Nope, not really.
I think it's very
Like-
different, eh.
Yeah, it's quite different
Yeah.
from early access versus
Okay.
normal release.
How about if it's a half-baked game? So it's like it's launched. Okay, basically what Destiny 2 was like when it first launched.
Access game.
It
the
took
early access game.
Destiny 2 years to get it, 2 to 3 years to get it right, by the way. So,
But of course, I mean, I'm not defending them, so in a way, but with the dispute with Activision and Bungie, yeah, it
Yeah lah.
became a whole thing, like overturned. Then after that, but right now, I think we've been saying the last few shows. Right now, they are trying to do their thing their way. Like they don't bound to another studio publisher.
Actually, like one thing that is interesting to talk about is like, would you think that Destiny 2 would be the same game that it is now, which is awesome, right? Would it be the same game as it is now if it was launched, it was good at launch? Or do you think it's because of player feedback and so on and so forth that it became what it is today because of that?
I think it's
I
because of
think-
the failure.
I think it's
Mm.
because of the company being tied to Activision in the first place. So if you're asking if the game Destiny 2 would be better if Bungie itself released it and whatnot, I would say probably yes. But if it's with Activision, then yeah, not so much.
Like,
They
okay,
They-
like let's say in the same scenario that Bungie is still with Activision, but the game came out supposedly okay. There wouldn't be. I would think there wouldn't be this much improvement because in the first place, they would not be working independently as right now, and they will still be bound under Activision, which means they're still under Activision's control. So a lot of things will not be able to pull off that you actually see now. Yeah, a lot of things that you see now, it would not be able to be pulled off because somebody else is still in control. If they say no, you can't do it, right? Yeah. So this
deadline, you need to
failure-
release this at this time. Die have to release at this time.
Yeah, so
Mm.
this failure may be a blessing in disguise. So maybe in future, if you actually see games from the same developers, it may actually be better. There's a lower chance that you actually see something that's something similar happening, right? Yeah.
The Activision leaving Bungie is like, oh okay, I really got the money when everyone pre-order and order after a few months after that, hey, bye bye, let's go, we are done. Watch and I give you back Bungie.
Wait, so now who are they under now?
Nobody.
Their own,
Bungie.
their own
Oh,
Bungie is
Bungie.
under Bungie.
Mm.
oh, independent
their
ah.
Their own.
Yes.
Oh, that's actually quite cool, huh?
And they work out so well because after they left, they could listen to community feedback as well, which is what WonderGen said. So
And
feedback
they-
also stopped a lot.
They
They
have the
really
freedom.
release a lot
ah.
of content. They really release a lot of content. If you right now, if like let's say you drop off from expansion 1, expansion 2, you never played, after you go back, then you'll be like, oh, huh?
So many changes.
That's my reaction
Yeah.
when I hop into Destiny recently.
Same.
Like, huh? What's this?
Mm.
Huh? What's this?
Why is all these things that I'm looking at? Why is all this so overwhelming? But it's still the game. It's still the base game, but so much changes some more. It's like it's amazing, technically.
Yeah, so in a way, like since the game is sort of like their baby already, right? They wouldn't. I mean, it's not the hard work and passion of the publisher. It's always the developer. So they would take a much better care of it rather than you giving it to a publisher.
They so-called do it their way.
Yes.
Like I believe the expansion that coming out on November, the expansion by right, if it's still under Activision, maybe this is a Destiny 3.
Good chance,
It
actually.
could be because they so-called reward the whole game. Then after that they are more in depth about the story. Then right now they even give you one more subclass.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
One
but
more
of course,
subclass for each.
One more subclass for each.
For-
But if you want to
Oh.
know, then
Go play the
maybe you
game.
can go and look it up.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. But no lah, I don't think I can play a game like Destiny. Cause if I like normally if I play this kind of games, I would just keep playing, you know. Cause like you gotta keep playing on to like get gear and all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
Get
So-
drowned.
Doesn't mean
in
you
the
can't
game.
go in once in a while.
No, I must resist. Like yesterday, I was playing Among Us.
The game is free.
Uh,
Base game is free.
I mean, like, yeah. I mean, like honestly,
That's
when I
last spending
when I
$80
went
on
in
you.
also, I just saw so many features in the game. I was actually quite surprised, seeing that the feedback was actually quite bad. So I went to look at all the like it looks like a very rewarding system for players who actually play it a lot. Like that's what it sees. I see from my point of view lah. Like coming from the fact that I don't play it, you know, as a cheap player who just want to see the game free.
I pre-ordered with expansion 1 and 2, season pass. For Destiny 2.
Deluxe edition.
Deluxe
like
edition
like
some more.
like the only
Deluxe
reason
edition
right
and season pass.
I didn't play D2 right was because I played D1 also at launch, and then I realized the content was like, huh, that's it. And this was
But
when I was a
actually
loner,
D1
so
D1 release, it was a hit
hmm.
on platform, especially on platform. Because
yeah.
Destiny 1 actually released when PS4 released.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it was a hit, and I actually play Destiny 1 a lot, almost every day.
Sorry, I'm just laughing because I'm looking at what chat is saying. They're calling me an imposter. Okay. Do you guys have any last thing to say about game delays before we move on to one topics that
No.
also quite interesting?
Not really.
Okay, awesome.